Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this webinar session. So we'll be starting off by 10:05 so that more people can join us. So good morning once again. Welcome to this interactive webinar session on SQL Server 2012 End of Support, themed Recalibrating Your Business to Survive Imminent Disruptions. My name is Gift, a customer excellence strategist, and I'll be your anchor for today. Now, before we proceed, I would like to quickly notify everyone present that this session will be recorded so that the videos can be made available to you on demand. Also, take note that we have our experts present and ready to attend to all inquiries. So kindly provide all questions and concerns in the chat window, and we'll be sure to take it from there. Now, on this call, we have our Microsoft certified professionals. We have Olumide, Olamide, and Benedict, who will be taking us through various educative sections in the course of this meeting. And for today, we'll be going through 8 key segments. We'll start off with a brief introduction to Reliance Infosystems. Then we'll be exploring digital transformation, the need for customers like yourself to migrate. We'll be looking at various migration blockers, the SQL End of Support opportunity, various migration options, several resources and offers, and lastly, we'll be taking on a question and answer segment where we'll be providing responses to all your inquiries. So to start off for today, I would like to briefly introduce Reliance Infosystems. Now, we are a leading ICT organization headquartered in Lagos with physical and digital footprints around the world. And we focus on assisting organizations like yours to digitally transform by leveraging innovative technologies in order to achieve their business goals and attain true competitive positioning. Now, here at Reliance Infosystems, we operate by our success outcome philosophy, which explains the dynamics of our relationship with our customers. So primarily, the fundamentals of our business is built around winning with our customers. And for this reason, we don't see our customers as mere clients. We rather consider our relationship with them as a partnership because we go beyond providing the best digital solutions to also provide the right guidance, assisting our customers to attain success. So we maintain a mutually beneficial relationship with all our customers. Now, over the years, we have attained several good competencies and advanced specializations. We currently have advanced specialization in Windows Server and SQL Server migration to Microsoft Azure, adoption and change management, modernization of web applications to Microsoft Azure, meeting rooms and calling for Microsoft Teams, and low-code app development. Also, based on our passion for digital innovation and the transformative impact of our inputs on businesses around the globe, we have also been recognized with several awards. On 3 occasions, we have bagged the Microsoft Country Partner of the Year award, and we also won the Sophos Partner of the Year award this year as well. Now, I believe that you agree with me that these competencies, specializations, and awards we have speaking to our name goes a long way to point to the effectiveness of our capabilities as an organization. For our footprints, we are physically located in Nigeria, Ghana, Botswana, Kenya, Pakistan, UAE, and the United Kingdom, with digital footprints in about 22 countries in Africa and the Middle East. Next, we'll be looking at 3 success pillars that defines our mode of operation here at Reliance Infosystems. And these pillars include business transformation, operational excellence, and protection assurance. For business transformation, we look at assisting businesses to transform digitally. We look at lowering costs and empowering our customers to boost productivity in the face of new remote and hybrid work conditions. So under this first pillar, we provide identity and access management, business productivity platforms, cloud hosting solutions, and a long list of advanced services. For operational excellence, we look into enabling our clients revamp their operations in order to reinforce their value propositions and improve on their efficiency. So under the second pillar, we provide modern ERP solution. robotic process automation, customer engagement, data platforms, and much more. Now, finally, protection assurance. Here we offer what we refer to as rest of mind as a service, which simply means that utilizing the best digital security solutions, we handle all digital security concerns for our clients, enabling them to focus solely on their productivity and the distribution of their products and services. So under this third pillar, we provide gateway protection, endpoint protection, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and a list of ultra-modern security solutions, all aimed at ensuring maximum cybersecurity for our customers. So this is a summary of Reliance Infosystems. This is who we are, what we do, and how we are transforming businesses today. Now, like I said earlier, if you do have any questions or concerns during any of the segments, please provide them in the chat window, and we'll be providing responses to all your inquiries. Right now, I'll be handing over to Benedict, who will be taking us through the next section.
Okay, thank you very much for that phrase. Now, digital transformation. Now, I'm sure you can all agree with me that no industry has been left untouched by the global health crisis of 2020. Change is happening, along with innovation, lessons, and even opportunities for progress. From this, organizations are accelerating their digital transformation efforts to meet the many challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Those that already had the tools and resources in place for their digital transformation were able to quickly adjust to meet new customer needs. As a result, these organizations are benefiting from innovative business outcomes. And we have witnessed this across several industries, including the financial services, government, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, and even FMCG. Now, if you've been following the trend, you'll see that we've practically seen up to about 10 years worth of digital transformation in just about 2 years. From remote teamwork and learning to new approaches to sales and customer service to improved processes. Businesses are embracing digital transformation to position their businesses to solve new and emerging problems. And at the center of all this is data. The data we are generating as a result of these digital transformation efforts is increasing at an exponential rate. And as we are maturing in our digital innovation journey, our infrastructure invariably needs to be modernized to support critical business workloads. Now, what you will notice is that digital transformation is at the heart of all our business processes. Firstly, it is defining how we relate with our customers through new sales and marketing channels, creating personalized customer experiences, and so on. Also, it hugely affects how we are shipping new products, new features, and new solutions. Furthermore, operational excellence must now be at the core focus of businesses, leveraging digital innovation to reduce costs, maximize efficiencies, and even troubleshoot failures, and so on. Lastly, empowering our staff towards maximizing productivity is now critical more than ever. Now, from all this, 72% of organizations reported their industry's pace of transformation has been accelerating as a result of the pandemic. And 80% of enterprises will have the mechanism in place by the end of 2021 to shift to a cloud-centric infrastructure and applications. Now, this is twice as fast as it was before the pandemic. And to further drive this point home, I'll be giving an example of a hypothetical company, Contoso Parts. Now, Contoso Parts is a spare parts dealership based in the USA. And like many other companies on this webinar today, Contoso Parts has plans to scale from incorporating e-commerce to partnering with vendors and retailers, opening delivery outlets in other locations and countries, and even integrating the variety of payment gateways. And with all these plans to scale, their data is invariably going to grow as well. And this is going to be a major impact on their business. And major blockers to this scaling up process are the fact that they are still running on aging infrastructure and they are still using SQL Server 2012, which come July 2022 will reach its end of support dates. Now, the company is asking itself some critical questions, which all of us that are in different phases in our digital transformation journey can surely relate to, such as, is it even time to replace aging hardware and software? Yes, it is. Can you run your technology more efficiently in the cloud, taking advantage of technologies such as Azure? Absolutely, yes. Are you meeting today's security and compliance standards? Well, sadly, if you are running aging hardware and software, the answer to this is no. Can you use cloud innovation to better serve your customers? The answer to this is a resounding yes. Now, of all the triggers to modernize infrastructure, just like in the case of Contoso Pass, and I'm sure like others on this webinar will surely relate to, it's seen that the most critical triggers to modernize the infrastructure are the urgent capacity needs caused by the massive data growth and the running software approaching its end of support dates. And to further elaborate on this, I have on this call here Olumide Olufiade, who is going to show some of the impacts SQL Server end of support will have on our businesses in terms of security. Thank you very much. Over to you, Olumide.
Thank you very much, Benedict. So my name is Omni. I'll be taking down the presentation here. So, if you are running Windows Server 2012 and SQL Server 2012 and respective SKUs, these versions are reaching their end of support very soon. So I know that a lot of businesses don't want to hear this, right? But it's an inevitable change that we cannot avoid. So how can this impact our business? So there's some ways that this can impact our business negatively, right? Some of which is security vulnerability. So no more security fixes being issued by Microsoft means that our old servers and also SQL Server data platforms will be exposed to be taken advantage by various bad actors out there. So for this reason alone, we should update as soon as possible. We might think that a security firewall or an antivirus is going to protect us against unpatched vulnerability. So this is just simply not enough. So all these are quick for actors to exploit. Another way that our business can be impacted negatively is software incompatibility. So new applications that we have today, right? I mean, modern applications are built to take advantage of some of the functionalities and features that are baked into recent and modern operating systems, for example. So if you are running software solutions that has reached the end of life cycle support, it cannot be guaranteed that all this functionality can be taken advantage of. So some of these functionality that are currently baked into the latest version of SQL Server that currently is not available within SQL Server 2012 or 2008 includes the following, just to mention a few. We have accelerated database recovery. We commonly call this ADR. So this simply allows us to leverage on functionality, such as optimize RAM access. So this simply means that we have speed up workload when we leverage on this functionality. Remember, this is only available within SQL Server 2019. So another functionality that we can also take advantage of when we leverage on latest version of software stacks within SQL Server is always encrypted with enclave. So we know quite well that various organizations that are running SQL Server today are leveraging on encryption within their workloads. But one of the things that they can't do when the data is encrypted is perform computation on such data. With always encrypted with security enclave, we can have our data encrypted in memory and at the same time able to perform various computation on the data, which in turn protect the data against bad actors that might infiltrate data out of the system or even protect some sensitive data from people working within the organization, such as system administrator. And lastly, we have the query store custom capture policy. So this is a functionality that is baked into the latest version of SQL Server, for example, SQL Server 2019, that allows us to have visibility into how our data platform is performing. And in this instance, SQL Server. So this gives us the ability to know exactly how the various query is performing and how we can better optimize them. So the future also gives us recommendation on how we can best avoid regressing performance within our system. Now, speaking more on ways that out of support solution can impact our business is compliance. So we know that this is top of mind for a lot of organizations. So this includes healthcare, e-commerce, financial sector, just to mention a few. And one of the things that is very, very important is compliance to the way they handle sensitive customer data. So to ensure that the SQL Server, which has been a trusting solution for a lot of organizations, remains secure and all the biosecurity remain patched, we have to ensure that we are using a software stack that is currently supported. So moving on, we have high operational costs. So I know quite well that this is one of the pain points, or let me say one of the blockers that might prevent a lot of businesses from embarking on this journey. That is upgrading and modernizing their various SQL data workloads. Because you might think that this might add extra cost or additional cost to their current budget. But let me tell you, the additional cost that the business is going to incur supporting various legacy applications that is no more supported, and also paying for extended security updates to ensure that the solution remains secure can be very, very steep. So which is one of the reasons why we should start our plan as much as possible to start embarking on this journey. And lastly, is poor performance and reliability. So I mentioned that we might be running legacy application, right? There's a huge chance that if that's the case, the various infrastructure that is running the set of application are also aging. So this also adds to the level of complexity that we are dealing with here. So apart from the software stack that might be reaching their end of support, the various infrastructure that there are various licenses and support as is coming to an end also might result various downtime and the likes within the business. So we can see that these are some of the main reasons why we should start planning now to avoid any form of business disruption. Now, to simply put, there is no bulletproof way to run an end-of-life solution stack, right? The potential risk is typically outweigh the reward. So we might think that we want to save on budget, and the vulnerability that we might be exposed to in the course of doing this, such as security, compliance, and the likes, does not worth it at all. So the question now is, what is the solution? Now, before I proceed the solution, right, I will want to run us through what the life cycle within the Microsoft solution ecosystem looks like, right? The Microsoft support their solution for the next 10 years from the day the solution is being released. And this is broadly divided into two, right? The first phase is the pre-release phase, and the second phase is the end of support phase. While each of these phases, Microsoft support the solution for 5 years, respectively. Now, in the mainstream support phase, Microsoft will roll out new feature security updates, non-security patches to the solution as frequent as possible, right? While within the extended phase, Microsoft only uses security patches and fixes to the solution. But at this phase, no new updates will be released. So what does it mean? We are currently in the second phase, which is the extended support phase. And this phase is coming to an end soon. So what does the journey look like? So for SQL Server 2008 and its respective SKUs, the end of support is going to be reached by July 9, 2022, which is next year in July. While for 2012, the end of support is July 12, 2022. Now that we know this, what can we do? So we probably have two options. We can migrate our various workloads as it is today into a VM in Azure, and Microsoft will automatically issue out security fixes to those workloads without needing to upgrade whatsoever. And this extended security is free as far as we migrate our workload to Azure within a VM. Another option that we have is to procure extended security updates for the next 3 years. So as I've said earlier, if we decide to migrate our current workload as it is into a VM in Azure, we get this extended security updates for free. Now, speaking more about the various options that we have when it comes to ensuring that our workload remains secure and remains supported. So the journey is broadly divided into two. We have the Azure Cloud track and we have the on-premise part. So for the Azure track part, the various options that we have, we also have a level of flexibility on what to do, right? So first thing first, We have some businesses that are willing to embark on the cloud journey, but they are not ready to upgrade or upgrade their current SQL Server workloads. So Microsoft have us all in mind. So for the respective organization, we can, as of today, we can move our current workload as it is into a VM in Azure environment. So what does this mean? So the various SQL Server 2012 that we currently have running that have been migrated into Azure VM, we continue to receive various and the necessary extended security updates for free when we migrate to Azure. At the same time, we continue to leverage on the hybrid benefits. That is, continue to leverage on the on-premise virtual cores alongside with the on-premise with the cloud setup. So the second option that we have is to do what? Embark on the modernization journey. So what do we mean by this? So we can decide to migrate our current SQL database workload into Azure Virtual and Azure SQL database. So although this might require us to make simple or some tweaks to the underlying architecture of our solution, but Microsoft has a lot of frameworks and tools that will guide us and ease this journey. So another option that we have is to modernize using Azure Managed Instance. So how does it differ from Azure SQL Database? So this allows various organizations that want to continue leveraging and also control the way they administer their SQL database, right? So for example, it might be due to compliance or one reason or the other. We know quite well that some organizations have to take backup frequently at a particular period of time, or they have to comply to one regulation or the other. Managed instance might be the best option for you. So at the same time, managed instance, Azure SQL database managed instance do not require us to make any changes to the underlying architecture of our current application. So at the same time, we'll continue leveraging on all the functionality of a platform as a service solution, such as automatic security fixes, automatic patches, and so on and so forth. Now, let's speak more on the on-premise track, right? So if we plan to remain on-premise and we don't want to take or embark on the cloud journey, we can still continue to be on-premise. But now, the first option that is at our disposal is what? To upgrade our SQL Server from the current various SKUs and the SQL Server version that are reaching the end of support to SQL Server 2019. So this will allow us to leverage on some of the functionalities that I just mentioned earlier, so that ADR, security with enclave, just to mention a few. Now, we know that all these options that we laid out, yet a lot of businesses will not meet up due to one internal reason or the other. So we also have a way out. And the way out is to do what? Continue to leverage on the extended security updates that will be issued by Microsoft for the next 3 years. And mind you, this service is paid for. You have to pay for this service. So to run this up, for the various organizations that are currently leveraging on SQL Server 2012, that is reaching its end of support very soon, the paths that we have to continue to ensure that we remain supported is what we have on the slide, as I've mentioned earlier. So for the organization that want to remain on premise, just for a quick recap, we can continue to leverage on our current workloads and the current version of SQL Server that we have by procuring the extended security updates. Now, for the various organizations that are currently within Azure, but are running SQL Server 2012 and its respective SKUs, or we are currently on premise, but we are planning to migrate our workload into Azure VM. So Microsoft automatically applies all the necessary extended security updates to those workloads automatically for free. So this is one of the reasons why we should start planning as much as possible to start migrating or modernizing our application within Azure Cloud Environment. That is, if we are not ready or we are not able to upgrade to the latest version of SQL Server. Now, to round things up, the extended security, the SQL Server end of support is coming soon, and it's by July next year. And we have options either to migrate to Azure or modernize an application within Azure environment, or we continue to pay for what we procure extended security updates that will be provided automatically by Microsoft. So that round it up for the session for end of support for SQL Server. I'll be rounding up over to my colleague Olamide to take us through some of the migration options and some of the benefits that is on the table that we can take advantage of when we embark on this journey. Over to you, Olamide.
Thank you, Olamide. Good morning, people. My name is Olamide Owolabi, and I'm going through your migration options for your SQL Server end of year support. Now, one of the migration options, my colleague has talked about one of the ways you can support your SQL Server during your support is by moving to the Microsoft Azure. And Microsoft Azure is a public cloud solution provider, which means that they provide cloud computing services for infrastructure, not just for computer, but for app services, SQL Server services, and other instances. No. Now, the reasons to move to the cloud space, there are multiple reasons. But first off, let's talk about reduction of technical debt. What that means is that it makes it easier for you to spin up your application and monitor them, as you don't have to worry about your own side. It's being completely managed by the Azure platform side. Thereby, leaving you more time to work with your business efficiency. Then you also have cost benefits. Thanks to Microsoft Azure, cater to your solutions. You don't have to worry about your hardware components, storage space, cooling fans, other aspects, because all the computing and all the hardware computing processes and hardware parts is being handled by Microsoft Azure. All that you have to worry about is operating the systems that they have access to. Then you get access to Microsoft security systems and features. And since Microsoft spends $1 billion annually on the security features, I better show you that security is one of the best around. Plus, you can also leverage your on-premise security features to your solutions, thereby adding an extra layer of security. Now, there are multiple cloud solution providers out there. Example is Amazon Web Service. But Microsoft Azure is the most cost efficient out there, for it's 5 times cheaper and also effective. Therefore, you get more of your money. Plus, we're also providing you free updates and features for a short period of time for a SQL Server to help you end of year support. Now, benefit of migrating your solution to Microsoft Cloud Space is you have unbeatable RI, is unbeatable return on investments. With the program my colleague talked about the free updates and features we're having for the first 6 months, for those who move to the cloud only, it will help us to reduce costs on handling your SQL Server and add good cost for security and your features for those 6 months. Then by 6 months or less, you can help you to increase your revenue stream by having less cost on SQL Server. And for more, Microsoft also provides more features ahead of us for our most loyal customers in the cloud space. Plus, Microsoft also provides other cost management features to help with your resources and solutions, not only for SQL Server, of other computing features you may have in the cloud. Now, modernize when ready. The truth is, you're already ready to modernize. We talked about why you need to modernize for security, system compatibility, innovation features, and compliance. Now, when we move to the cloud space, you don't have to worry about end of year again, and Microsoft will purposely handle all the updating for you. That way, it won't affect your business continuity and use that time. For our data-driven companies, you have a chance to increase your revenue. As one again, you don't have to worry about hardware components such as technical space, cooling fans, and all that, and replacement of faulty hardware. That's all handled by Microsoft's features. And then you get access to other solutions such as app service and machine learning program tools to help increase the enrichment of your data. Then you can scale up and scale down when you want to, and also increase the outreach of your applications in the cloud. And once again, you get access to a very secure cloud foundation, built-in multi-layer security parameters and features. Also, multiple compliance certifications are on palm of your hand for any provider, any country laws. Now, bringing your SQL Server to workloads. One of the reasons why that you use SQL Cloud, you can only pay for what you are using. Let's talk about flexible monetization. That means you can scale up and scale down depending on what you're using in cloud. So in case when you have a day where you have a very heavy workload, you can scale up your SQL Server to manage the workload. And other days when the workload is low, you can scale down. By scaling down, you get to reduce the cost of SQL Server in the cloud space. Once again, you get access to unmatched security features and compliance laws. with much security features from Microsoft tools around you. Also leverage your on-premise securities onto the cloud space. And unbeatable RI, you can run any part of business in the cloud for more cost-efficient ever before. You don't have to worry about component space, upgrade, hardware, repairs, and all that. Also get access to all of cost benefit features in Azure cloud space. My colleague wants to talk about the free updates for the first 6 years and for the first 6 months in cloud. And unparalleled innovation. When using the cloud, it's not just for Azure SQL Server, for other computing features, which can also come together with your SQL Server. So that means your SQL Server now has access to other resources in the cloud space, such as a full modern database service, app service, and AI. Thereby, your imagination is not limited to what is around you anymore. Talk about more about Azure's unmatched security and compliance features of the database. Getting built-in security features with your firewall, virtual network, VPN, acting directly to help control who logs in and logs out. Also get access to encryption data, which are encrypted by default, but also gives you access to control your encryption system and patterns. You get access to Azure's threat protection security faces, risk and analysis activities. So you can create a system which can monitor you by mail or text message of any intrusion attacks on your solution and services. You can also get bonus for Azure offers with compliance offers and features. My colleague I talked about it before on Azure SQL servers, but also can be extended to Azure resources. You can even get protection on your applications running on SQL Server 2008, whereas the earliest Azure can guarantee safety features on. And I have to warn you, that 2008 period protection says may expire next year. With fossil monetizations, you don't have to worry about learning a new skill or two when you move to the cloud space. No. Microsoft has made these processes familiar so that when you move to the cloud space, it will be the same as working on premise. So it will not impact your business and operation. Space no longer issue anymore. Also have access to the full SQL Server applications and features in cloud and more of it. So that means your SQL Server can do more in cloud, can do on-premise. You can also leverage a built-in integration across on-prem and cloud. So what that means that when you don't move SQL Server to the cloud space, that doesn't mean you're locked out for Azure completely. You can use Azure's hybrid solution features, which means that you can bring the cloud space to your on-premise side. But bear in mind, we recommend you to upgrade your SQL Server to the latest features to reduce any issues you can call on your side. Now, the Azure SQL Database Managed Instance is a big word, but what that means is the solution that Azure provides you to help manage your SQL servers in the cloud. Now, for the two ways you can do it is to move your application to the cloud space, or you can leverage Azure on your on-premise, which is hybrid. Moving to the cloud space is a simple process which requires those migration tools to the cloud. Talk about more later. And for handling it on-premise, it means that you could just bring your Azure solutions onto on-premise side, whereby your SQL Server will have access to Azure security, modernization tools, other app solutions, and flexibility. Now, for Azure SQL Database Managed Instance, this will eliminate administrations and free your time to innovate. That means with Azure managing all the tools for most of the hardware and mundane side of managing SQL Server for you, you'll leave you free time to handle whatever you're planning essentially for your database and SQL servers. You get a best return on investments and get migration payback in 6 months or less, which means with free migration tools and security features before you move to the cloud space in Azure only. You get a SQL parameters, that means full base 100 core support, and we get support back to SQL Server 2005. So that means support instances for a SQL Server instance, protection tools, and for those 2005 features to move to the cloud space, allows you update to use modern times. Get access to intelligent database. So Microsoft Azure has machine learning systems and tools which will help you apply your data and innovate it to different aspects of way. So to sort your large database tables and columns. hybrid. If you're those who are not willing to move to the cloud space, you can and still want to modernize, you can bring the cloud to your site. Azure has hybrid features, which allows you to leverage Azure tools on premise, get access to Azure security features, get access to Azure compliancy, Azure modernization tools, even other applications to help you with your cloud space, to help you innovate and apply to different capabilities. And actually, easy migrations for those to move to the cloud. The migration process is simple, a simple lift and shift, that is carry and go. No code changes, no application changes, very little consistency changes. So that means you're able to operate in the cloud as you're working on premise, which will not impact our business flow. Now, moving to the cloud space for hybrid or full migration needs some time to prepare. Very short time. Just need to access your SQL Server on hand. When to update, updating to setting to the modern time. We advise to update. For those who are not updated, you can still move to the cloud space your SQL Server. Once my Azure automatically updated compatibility to the correct version, with no data loss. Then migration tools, on-premise or Azure. For on-premise, which means to upgrade to the latest version, which was 2019. For migration, easily move to the cloud space. And optimize. Take advantage of the tools around you provided by Azure Cloud to help you optimize your system, to create your innovation, to create your security compliance tools and implementation. Now, the Microsoft Cloud application is given on a proven methodology. Define your strategy approach. Plan how do you want to handle it. Ready, preparation, technical skilling, and adopt migration execution. All these things can be governed by you and managed by you. So to manage your get in line with your capability and desires. Then the Azure Migration and Migration Program is already a yet improvement strategy tool. Adopted by these people here, listen in the chats. You can sign up today to join and also provide you. Remember, it's giving an improvement strategy that's worked time and time again with no issues. It's cost effective with offers and incentives to help you out in your business tools and return ROI. You have to increase option of technical skill bidding to increase your technical skills in the cloud, help increase your business flow. Get access to free cloud migration tools to move to the cloud space. So as an in-depth assistance from fast track engineers for support and technical assistance. And again, get help from one of our expert help from professional partners. That's us as Infosystems. We're here to provide your migration tools and process to help make this transition seamless. Not ready to move. The truth is that you're always ready to move. We'll talk about reasons why you move. But once again, get intelligence over any data. Have control of your data. Choose your platform of language and container. Choose where you want to go to. Choose how you want to be formed. We get access to industry-leading performance and availability. Help get access to tools to help you compete with the over-changing market space to stay relevant. To get security on your data for the last over 9 years. Get security for your data. Have insights in minutes of any device. That means get access to your data on any device too, whether iPad, mobile phone, or television. And this goes on. So thank you for your time. So I hand it over to Mrs. Gift Chukudi.
All right, thank you for that presentation, Olamide. Now at this point, we'll be taking your questions, so please provide all questions in the chat window and we'll take them right away. Now, while we await further questions, I would like to quickly show you a video on Reliance Infosystems. So in the absence of any more questions, I believe that we've come to the end of this webinar session. Now, once again, I would like to thank everyone that has been a part of this transformative experience. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, please note that you'll be receiving a feedback form from us, so kindly endeavor to fill up and submit. For further inquiries, you can reach out to us through any of our social media platforms or through our email address currently displayed on the screen. Once again, thank you for joining us today. You have a lovely day.